So he's got something. Are you ready to do what you need to do? You'll be like,
yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah. I'll get some and I'll do it after. Perfect. I see you. We'll start promptly at 1! Exclamation point.
Time flies when you're having fun and stuff.
And always when I hang out with you.
Phone up in here.
Damn it. Doesn't work.
Quiet over there.
Yeah.
You can do that just if you want.
I like this stand.
I do it here like too.
Because I'm moving that room around, I had a little dresser. It's about this height, and I have to work in that room because my internet's bad. And so I just put it on that dresser, and I'm like, this is actually kind of nice. Look outside, see everybody, the road.
Well, I've noticed too sometimes, like, I get it now because after the yoga class we had, I tend to start stretching more back.
Have? Dang, girl. Michael got you on the wellness trip.
All right. Hey, Michael.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
What is this crazy new non-Zoom setup you got going on over here?
You know what? I heard Gary Vee talk about it, and I'm like, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
That's it. No, I dig it. Hey, listen, I'm zoomed out, so the ability to be a part of something like this would be fun.
Yeah, no joke. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to be here, my friend.
Yeah. I'm just going to introduce Jimmy. Welcome to everybody here. Jimmy, just so you know, we've got our agents on here, and we open it up to everyone. We're very much about sharing, so want everybody to be able to hear what you got to say.
Sure.
And Jimmy Mackin is the co-founder of Curaytor. He is it's our marketing company actually, and him and Chris Smith founded that company several years ago. He's also the co-author of Exactly What to Say for Real Estate Agents. So we're going to get into that a little bit too. But
Sure.
He was a speaker here at our local event, BYOB, in January, which was fantastic. And little did we know, like then, what just a few days later really was gonna be like. So Jimmy's a national speaker. He's at NAR events. He's at conferences all over the country. Also co-host of the water cooler, which is good to see you guys back in that.
It's good to be back.
And that is, you and Chris have done well in the past few days. So let's just dive in. We're just going to freewheel this, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Because things are, changing daily. But one of your taglines for Curaytor is advice that works, right? So right now, what are you telling clients and people you're speaking with, in terms of, from a real estate agent's perspective, what should they be doing, or what do you recommend? How do you recommend they pivot in order to take advantage of, the market when it does come back?
Yeah, sure. Well, first off, thanks for having me, Mike. Michael and I have known each other for almost 10 years now. And, I've always appreciated his willingness to put on a great event, and always fun to participate and share knowledge with your brokerage. And I think, doing something like this, Michael, is a good example of what leaders are doing, which is trying to figure out ways to provide education to their audience. So kudos to you. And I hope everyone here appreciates what you have going on here. On that note, do me a favor, if you guys are just jumping on right now, there is a live comments feature here. I've never used StreamYard before, so I'm excited for you guys to ask questions and comment. Just make sure that you can actually comment in the chat. So just say hello. Just say hello. I'm here. I'm in the call. I can see you guys. I can hear you guys. I'm just excited to monitor the comments throughout today's session. My hope is that we can turn this into a discussion, Michael, and have a collaboration with all the agents who are tuning in right now. So,
and thanks for the reminder. I always took that cue from you as far as asking for people to let them know they're there.
Yes. I got a couple reps under my belt here. Let me start by saying, I think the first thing is, the question that everyone is facing right now is, how do I focus on growing my business in the midst of all the things that are happening that are sort of beyond my control? And the first thing that we have to think about here, and the first thing that we have to obsess over, and the first thing that has to become sort of top of mind for us, is we have to sort of separate people who are on the sidelines versus people who are in the game. Because right now, I think oftentimes, especially when this all started to unfold, Michael, I'd find agents calling, I just lost 3 deals. I just had this other deal that just fell apart. My entire April pipeline blew up. And the challenge that I see with that is that you sort of get fixated on the people who stepped away from making a decision and decided that they're going to wait for maybe a reason that was beyond their control. And it emotionally and mentally, got you sidetracked from what you need to be focusing on, especially in sales, is focusing on the people who are actively looking to buy and sell right now. People who still have the desire and the needs to make a real estate transaction, to buy or sell a house. So I think that the first thing is that you have individuals who are on the sidelines. You should engage with them. You should nurture them. You should follow up. You try to add value. That's going to be part of what you do to build a pipeline. But then on the flip side, your mindset has got to be focusing in on how do you stay in contact, follow up, and convert people who want to make a decision right now. So let me give your community one very small tip. This is an email, a text message, a Facebook message that you can send out to your database, your sphere of influence, people that are in your CRM, your leads. Doesn't make a difference, right? And the subject line of the email is going to read, "Have your plans changed?" That's it, question mark, right? You can send this in a Facebook message, text message, email, doesn't make a difference. Have your plans changed? And the next line should be, are you still planning on making a move this summer, or have your plans changed? Let me know. That's it. And what that's going to do, Michael, is that you're leveraging marketing and, more importantly, copywriting to start a conversation, to be able to get people to raise their hand, say, actually, yes, my plans have changed. I was going to wait to the fall, but because mortgage rates are so low right now, and because a lot of buyers have moved out, I think I can pick up a deal or pick up an opportunity on a home, right? And so you're going to get emails like that. You're going to get people saying, no, actually, you know what? I was going to buy this summer or this spring, but I'm just concerned about the economy. I'm going to wait and see how things shake out. Now okay, this person is still in the market, but they're maybe 3 months out. So now you can separate them from your leads and your prospects, and that can be an individual that you're personally following up with every 7 to 10 days to personally check in on that individual. So you can use a tactic like qualifying through copy, that's what we call it, Mike, to be able to separate the people who are in the game versus the people who are on the sidelines. The second thing that you can do as it relates to getting people to raise their hand now, to getting people to go from this sort of state of indecision, is you have to leverage storytelling as a way to help persuade and also convince people that there are people still actively buying and selling houses right now. Oftentimes there's a narrative that exists, and that narrative is if a group of people stop doing something, that means everyone has stopped doing something. That's just categorically untrue. We know that in every market, of course, the inventory levels are lower. Of course, the amount of transactions are lower, but there's still people transacting every single day. But there are people who want to do it, who feel like they should do it, but are maybe afraid because they're not sure if anyone else is doing it. So the questions you have to answer are very simple at this time, Mike. It is, number one, can I buy and sell a house today? That's the first fundamental question people are asking themselves. Number two is, should I? Is it a good time? Should I wait? Should I do it now? What happens if I make a mistake? And the last question that you have to answer from a marketing and sales perspective is, how do I? In a safe and secure way, how do I transact? How do I buy and sell in this environment? So when your community, Michael, is thinking about marketing and sales and thinking about what they can do today, the first thing you have to do is focus on who's in the game versus who's on the sideline. That's going to change your strategy. You got to use this qualifying through copy technique. The second thing that you should be doing here is you should be answering the questions that everybody has, leveraging storytelling. I'll tie the loop on that one in a second. But can I, should I, how do I are the three fundamental questions that buyers and sellers are asking themselves every single day. Now, let me talk about storytelling and how you can use this to get people to raise their hand so you can have more qualified conversations. How many people here, just by a show of hands, you can drop in the chat if you'd like in the chat for me. How many people here are using or working with a buyer or seller right now? Are you actively working with a buyer? Or are you actively working with a seller right now? Just say yes in the chat for me, please. And what we're going to see here is a lot of people right now are actively working with a buyer or a seller. Now, if you've recently sold a home, Michael, in the last 14 days, or last 24 days, 21 days, or 30 days, whatever that is, that needs to be a story of how you were able to successfully sell a house, hopefully above asking price with maybe more than one offer during this time. So when I think about convincing and trying to attract people to my business, you have to use these personal stories, the things you do every day to communicate to a larger audience. And hey, listen, people are doing this right now. And the feeling you want the consumer to have, the feeling you want to elicit from this is, oh, that person's just like me. So in other words, what you might do is, I'm working with, Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez, and they were concerned about listing their home during COVID. They wanted to do it in a safe and secure way. They were afraid that if they listed their home, they would get lowballed because they heard that a lot of people were taking the home off the market. But what I'm here to tell you today is that the exact opposite was true. Because there's low inventory and because there's still pent-up demand, when we listed Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez's home, what ended up happening is we actually got offers above the expected asking price of the home because there was so much lack of inventory. See, this is one of the counterintuitive things about listing your home in a time where there isn't a lot of demand, such as right now, that when there isn't a lot of inventory, it creates pent-up demand. And guess what? We're only dealing with serious buyers. We're only dealing with people who are willing to make an offer. So you spend a lot less time filtering through non-serious buyers, and you find the people who are really interested in making a move today. So by taking that opportunity to share that story, a very personal story, and speak to the pain points and problems they have, it can help communicate. It creates a marketing piece that you're going to communicate to your fans on social media, your fans on Instagram and Facebook, your email list, your past clients, your sphere of influence, and your leads. And there's a technique that we teach in the book here, Michael, that I think your entire community should embrace. And that is, how do you prospect in a rejection-free way? And the way you do that is a very simple sequence of words, which is, I'm not sure if this is for you, but. Now that's the opening line of the message. I'm not sure if it's for you, but. And what we would be doing here is saying, I'm not sure it's for you, but I recently had a chance to work with a couple who wanted to sell their house this spring. And I put together an article about their story. And I thought if you're in the market right now and you're thinking about moving, you'd find some value in this. That's it. So Michael, I hope that answers your question. A couple of ideas and takeaways there, but I'm just so bullish on this idea. We got to get out there. We got to connect with people. We got to remind people that there are people transacting every single day right now, and we can do that through smart marketing. We can do that through qualifying through copy. We can do that through storytelling. Oh, Michael, you're muted, my friend.
Sorry, there's a blower on a Friday afternoon. For some reason, somebody's decided to blow their yard out or whatever. So taking that into consideration, the words are incredible. Clearly, we need to speak a little differently right now to our prospects, to our clients. You know, we don't want to be as maybe salesy and pushy. And, you know, we, as a company, we did the first line lunches. We've done some other initiatives for that. But I think it feels like we're sort of past that. And you know what? Our area right here is a little, we're kind of open back up. We're not as locked down probably as you guys still are. So it's feeling a little bit more back to normal. But we know a lot of the parts of the country are not back to normal. They're not going to be able to hop on a plane and come view property. If an agent's looking for ways to take advantage of that situation, and when I say take advantage, not in a bad way, but you know, for their own business, what do you recommend, or what do you think of as the best way to market to them? Is it video? Is it email? Is it direct mail? Is it, you know, what is the best way to connect with your past sphere, your current, you know, past clients, your sphere, and potential prospects? Because I know our web traffic has just shot through the roof. So we're getting those leads and those, you know, with the Curaytor systems, we get those notifications all the time. So what's the best way, do you think, to connect with those people without seeming like, hey, you're literally taking advantage of the situation?
Yeah. And just to give a quick shout out there, Jennifer, Cheryl, Mary, Barbara, thanks for dropping in the comments. Heather, hey there. It's good to see just the feedback here, and I love the fact that you guys are out there actively selling, out there actively helping people. That's your job, right? It's like we should not apologize for doing our job. I think this is one of the things that bothers me about the real estate community as a whole. Is oftentimes you have people on the sidelines just trying to throw rocks at the people out there just trying to make a living and doing their job. So I'm glad you're out there working and serving your community and trying to add value, because these are important times, and this is when the consumer needs us the most. So a couple ideas I want to throw out there to you, to the community here. The first is, as it relates to marketing, one of the smartest things I heard about how to help a agent or consumer safely view a home and help them understand what's happening in the market. Tammy Stowe did this technique, one of our clients, Tammy Stowe, and I just thought it was so smart. She, not only did she do the normal virtual open house, which we obviously, it's pretty ubiquitous right now. You certainly don't need me to tell you about virtual open houses. Clearly that's the standard now. The thing that she did was really interesting is she got on FaceTime with the client, and she drove around the neighborhood so the client could experience the neighborhood, right? In addition to the home. The individual's seeing the home, but they don't know what the neighborhood looks like. They can use Google Maps, that's helpful. But giving that individual a 15-minute personal tour of the area. Say, hey, listen, I'm gonna be in this particular area on this day. I'm doing kind of my own virtual caravan, right? Getting people to opt in to sort of be a part of your own virtual caravan if you're going out to see homes is a really smart idea. And I think this is what Tammy was doing on an individual level, which I loved. I thought it was really clever. Let me talk about just general big picture marketing ideas that I want to share with everyone here. At Curaytor, we're all about getting our marketing done right. We're all about developing innovative marketing strategies to drive real results for our clients. We believe that the consumer is just meaning real estate agents, are eager and excited to have a viable alternative to spending all their money with someone who directly competes with them. So agents right now that we coach, we focus on saying going direct to consumer. How do you reach consumers in a meaningful way? So let me give you an example of this. The first thing that I would be doing right now as a real estate agent is I would be obsessing over shooting videos one-to-one and one-to-many. Now, you've heard me, if you've ever seen me speak, talk about the importance of video and video marketing. And you might say, well, I don't want to be on camera. I don't like the way I sound. I don't like the way I look. Well, like, those days are over. Those days are long gone. You have got to be virtual first, especially in the initial kind of qualification and interaction you have with clients. So you've got to be using ways to connect with consumers in a meaningful way. Now, Jennifer's asking, what platform are you using to broadcast? And Jennifer, you're asking about this specific platform. This is Michael's using StreamYard here, right?
Yeah, Jen. StreamYard. I heard about it the other day on a Gary Vee podcast, and I was like, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And it's web-based, so all the heavy lifting happens on the other side. So not your computer. So that's what we're using. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, there you go. And listen, whether you're using StreamYard, Zoom, Google Hangouts, Facebook's new messenger rooms, the most important thing is first creating content worth watching. So figuring out what your angle is, what your audience is, what your message is, and then delivering that with enthusiasm and excitement. The number two is, once you've shot that video, you want to figure out a way to say, you know what, I want to figure out how to distribute that video in a more meaningful way. The thing that we believe the future of advertising and video is YouTube pre-roll ads. Now, I want you to write this down. This is so important. Right now, video marketing is arguably the most effective form of marketing because it's a way for you as a service professional to be able to connect with consumers at scale. It's a way for you to showcase your expertise, your knowledge, your experience. It's a way for you to build a meaningful relationship and connection with the consumer. I've been shooting the water cooler for 7-8 years now, and every time I go to a conference, I have people coming up to me and saying, "Hey, I watched the water cooler. I'm a fan of the show. I really like the stuff that you guys are putting out there," and they feel like they know me. And that's the feeling you want to have as a service professional. Is you want to build a relationship with your audience, even if it's a one-way relationship where they know you and they like you, right? Because that way, when they pick up the phone to call you to list their home, it's kind of like that "come list me" call. Like, "Hey, I saw your reviews online. I'd like for you to list my home." Same thing's going to happen with video. "Hey, I just watched your recent video about a market update in Hilton Head. I love what you said about the market. I found it super valuable. I'm looking to make a move right now. Would you mind helping me?" Right? It creates those inbound moments. And the way we think about that is attract, don't chase. So the first step here, Michael, is shoot videos worth watching. And I could talk about techniques there in a moment, but like, shoot videos worth watching. Energy, enthusiasm, excitement, have an opinion, have a point of view, focus on adding value. You don't have to sell. If you focus on adding value and educating the consumers, they'll want to work with you. You'll attract, you won't have to chase. But the thing that every single person here needs to be thinking about is, how do you distribute those videos to maximize your engagement, maximize your reach, maximize the impact? You shot the video, it's great, it's useful, it's valuable. How do you reach more people with it? The way you're going to do that is through YouTube pre-roll ads. Now, maybe for those of you who have been on YouTube recently, you've went to watch a video, and prior to the video, what would happen would be a video would play as like basically a commercial, and then you'd watch that video. Now, you could skip that after 5 seconds or not. See, the way YouTube pre-roll ads work is you can take your videos that you're producing, that you might be broadcasting on Facebook, emailing to your database, sharing on social on Instagram, but you can take that video and you can run an ongoing advertising campaign. And the beauty of YouTube video ads, especially pre-roll ads, is number one, you don't pay for the view unless they watch more than like around 15 seconds, right? So you're not paying for these cheap 3-second, 4-second views that we normally do on Facebook. You're only paying for views if someone's watching more than 15 seconds on the video. That's the first thing, which is in itself a very important metric to measure. The second thing that we're seeing with YouTube pre-roll ads is we're seeing that the time in which people watch the video is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We're oftentimes seeing, Michael, people watch your videos for 60 to 70% of the entire video. YouTube is the new TV. This is a commercial. If you can get 60% of people to watch the entire commercial, that is an incredible, incredible value add to your business. So when I think about marketing and selling in a virtual world, Michael, I think about leveraging video production and then video distribution. And if you're a real estate agent right now who's watching this, or you run a team, if you're using video every day to promote your business, you've got to turn the corner to be able to say, I got to get this out to more people. Now, the power of YouTube is built on the Google platform, clearly. You have still some amazing targeting options. So Facebook, you have to cast a wider net because of the recent regulations around how you might advertise. So you can do it within like a 15-mile radius. You have to use copy and images to really help narrow down the scope so you don't get too many leads that are out of market. With YouTube, I can put a pin on a map and draw a circle around and say, I only want to advertise to people in this area who are watching videos. I want to only advertise to people who are in market, meaning they're actively looking for videos on real estate. Either they're looking at other real estate videos or looking at how-to videos. I can do it by age and by income and by employment. I can do it by any metric you think you want to be able to target by. You can do that. So it creates hyper-specific targeting in your local area, and you're delivering your best asset. Now, I cannot emphasize this enough. For everyone who's listening, Michael, it's time to get uncomfortable. What you were doing prior to this and what you're doing after this, you're going to have to change. I study businesses every single day. There's not a single business that was negatively impacted by this who isn't making significant structural changes to the way they run their business. So if you can't get on video now, I don't know. There ain't a whole lot I can do. Now, Jennifer saying, we still can't use copywriting music in YouTube. That's correct, Jen. You still can't use copyrighted music. You don't need music, to be clear. Like, you're the star of the video, okay? And the information you're producing is the star of the video. There's no need to get overly technical or complicated with the production of it. You know, Mike's got this like banner that's floating below me right now. It's like a stock ticker. You know, he's got all this fancy. That's fine. That's great. But that's not necessarily a requirement to deliver great information and great content. There's that banner there again, and it's also got looks like a spelling error there in there as well, Mike, with 2 U's and the UR. The star.
Yeah. Thanks for noticing. I'm going on the fly here.
I like it. So I hope that answers the question, Michael. That was it was a long answer to a short question, but I just believe in the importance of leveraging video one-to-one using BombBomb, which is a great service. Just a super, I think, intelligent group of people over there that run that company, and then leveraging YouTube and leveraging YouTube ads to get your videos in front of the right people. Just to be clear, we're averaging roughly around like a 3 cents, 4 cents per view of videos for clients that we work with on this side of things. And, you know, you can't beat that. You can't beat that type of advertising, Michael.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think action right now, I don't remember who said it, but it's somebody famous said it, but you know, done is better than perfect. At least it's done, or 80% is better than not ever done. So I'm encouraging people to do video. I've always wanted to jump in. I think it's a good way to communicate with people. You know, we use BombBomb as well, and of course that was from the Curaytor conference last year. Mm-hmm. And those guys are fantastic. But if somebody wants to like jump into something like that, and what's interesting is the YouTube pre-roll ads. Is it just Google how to run pre-roll ads, or do you have any particular place you feel like, hey, these guys knock it out of the park, and go check them out as far as like how to do?
Yeah, you know, so we've begun to experiment with this. You know, at Curaytor, talk about pivots, right? Talk about you know, making changes to our business. So Curaytor is best known for being a marketing company. And one of the things that we realized very early on during this crisis is that our clients needed more services related to advertising, because they need to get in front of the right people right now. They don't have time to sort of nurture and incubate and build their brand. They got to convert. They got to get revenue coming into the business. They got to be able to get money coming in to be able to survive and then hopefully thrive. So for us, we've been actually doing a lot of this behind the scenes, Michael. We've been testing and experimenting with it. My advice is this. we believe, and we'll share a playbook with your audience, Michael, afterwards. We'll give them a step-by-step playbook here. You have got to find someone to do this for you. And the reason I say that, it isn't a self-promotion. Rather, I want everyone on today's call, Michael, focusing in on the production of the video itself. Is the quality of the video. So in the case of how someone might do this, they would be using Google AdWords. They'd be able to go in there, create a campaign, set up their ad group, which is your audience, create the creative, which is the video. It's all relatively standard in terms of how you run a Facebook ad, a Google ad, or even a LinkedIn ad. But it's something that I would actually recommend outsourcing, just because we've seen the level of complexity involved in it. It's a little bit outside the reach of most people. But we will provide a resource with your audience that if they want to run their own and they don't have the budget, but they have the time, it is something that everyone here on today's call can learn.
Do you have, are there companies, I know there's companies like, AdRoll that do retargeting, and there's other companies that do specific things. Is there anyone who specializes in the pre-roll ads that, you know of, that someone could go and just?
Your best bet would be like a Fiverr or a Upwork, or two kind of services where you probably would find someone like a contractor on the fly. So that's where I would go with that, Michael.
Gotcha. All right. I'm trying to get that question was from Heather, by the way.
Okay.
So that being said, let's it's getting on 30 minutes here. We appreciate your time. Let's just wrap it up. And one of the things I encourage my agents to do is to take advantage of what they have now, when probably, I don't know what percent, 85% of agents are just using it as a vacation. Mm-hmm. What's the danger of using it this time as a vacation instead of getting in front of this pandemic? Because when it officially ends and things go back to sort of more normal, are they going to be really behind? Are they going to be right back where they were when this started? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first off, I can't believe people are taking vacation during this. It's hard for me to listen. If you have the ability and the luxury to take a vacation during this, because you are so well off and you are so secure in your future, God bless you, right? I think that's something that, like, to me, I haven't heard a lot of that, Michael, to be honest. The people that I study and the people that I mirror and my mentors, like, ain't no one taking a vacation right now. That being said, I want to, and I'm going to come back to answer your question in terms of what is the benefit of really like dialing in right now. I would encourage your community to be careful not to try to do too much during this time. I found myself falling into this trap early, which is because because of all these things that were changing, we were also desperate to kind of latch onto some control here, that we all began to sort of just work insane hours. And so the burnout and the intensity and the work and the complete disruption of home and life work balance has just been destroyed for many people, that you got to be careful. You got to take care of yourself first and foremost. Now, I'm not a life coach by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a workaholic. I'm trying. If I could get my work done in 40 hours or 30 hours, I would do it. I'm just not that efficient, right? So, like, I'm very jealous of those people who can get that done. Here's my belief. And this is something everyone needs to write down. If you want to know the key to marketing and the key to growth, maybe the single most important thing that you can do to grow your business, build a relationship with your customers before they need you. There are thousands of people in your network, hundreds, maybe 1,000, who are customers, future customers, who right now aren't going to buy or sell. If you take this time to build a relationship, further that relationship with those individuals now when they don't need you, you will have set yourself up for a massive opportunity to grow. Because this is when people remember what you did. When things weren't going well, they look and pay attention to how did that agent really react? How did that agent really be of service? How did that agent really step up and help the community and help me? Because I've got questions, I've got concerns, I've got problems. And when everything else went to, hell in a handbasket, they were gone, right? Maybe the golf courses are open down there in Hilton Head. They're gone. They're out golfing. I didn't hear from them once. But then when things pick back up, they're hitting me up saying, hey, now's a good time to sell. Well, you're too late. I've already built a relationship with an agent who was out there trying to connect with me in a more meaningful way, who thought more long term. We do consumer research studies at Curaytor. So we do something where we call sellers and we talk to them. And we have a conversation with them. And we say, hey, listen, why'd you choose your real estate agent? And we try to pinpoint what was the exact moment or the exact thing the agent did that got that consumer to say, you know what? I could hire 100 people, but I'm going to hire you. Because they have unlimited choices and unlimited options. And the theme that we hear over and over again in these conversations is this. I felt like the agent had my best interest in mind. I felt like they were on my team. And that feeling that the consumer has is the sort of inception point or the catalyst that ensures that when they decide they want to list their house or then when they want to buy a house, they're going to choose you. They're not going to go shop you around on Zillow. They're not going to go and check out your reviews. If they feel like you're on their team and that you've built that relationship with you, like they're gonna make the decision. They're gonna move on. So Michael, my advice to your community is very simple. Take this time now to build a relationship with your customers before they need you. Because when they need you, and they will eventually need you, you want to be the agent of choice. And if you're out there at the beach, right, golfing, sleeping into 11 o'clock at night, waiting for this thing to sort of blow over, and then thinking you can come back and then step into that role, well, I think you have a surprise coming, my friend.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jimmy. Well, we certainly respect your time and are so happy you joined us. Thank you so much for taking this time today to come on here. Just as a parting parting words, I guess. How can people reach out to you, and how can they go out and check out the water cooler? Because now that it's back, and there's a backlog of hundreds of episodes they're I hate to say it, evergreen, ERA, yeah. Evergreen content. They are evergreen content. So how do they reach out to you?
Yeah, the first off, let me say, give it up for Michael. I know Michael doesn't like doing video, just to be clear. All right, I know he doesn't like doing it, and the fact that he's doing it, I hope you guys appreciate he's leading by example here. And I think everyone needs to pay attention to that, Michael. Like, I don't think you wake up every day saying, I can't wait to go ahead and do a webinar. But this is an example of leading by example, getting outside the comfort zone of what you're normally comfortable with, and then putting yourself out there. So I want to give a shout out to you, Michael, and I hope your community appreciates what you do here. On that note, they can connect with us at curaytor.com/live every Thursday, 5 p.m. Happy hour here on the East Coast. We're bringing on the best agents from across the country, thought leaders, industry experts, just to come on talk about marketing, sales, technology, how to grow their business. Last night, we had Amy Youngren, founder of North Group, who's built an incredible empire north of the border in Canada. We had Jessica Woodbeck. She's the founding partner and team lead at the Woodbeck team, who is out there doing amazing work in Michigan. Next week, we're going to have a few more guests. We got Ben Kinney's coming up in a few weeks. We got Rand Fishkin, founder of Moz, coming up in a few weeks. We're bringing in the best and the brightest from across the industry to continue to educate our community on how to grow their business. So I appreciate your time today, everyone. I hope you got value out of it. Have a great Friday, and stay safe out there.
Jimmy, since we got not that many questions, I'm going to throw you one more and then let you go.
Sure.
Because Ken Joy asked, and this is a legitimate question, do you think we'll get to a point of video burnout?
Well, we're going to get to the point of Zoom burnout, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's coming, Ken. Here's my belief system on that, Ken. There will always be room for high quality content. Yeah. There is already what we would refer to as an infinite amount of videos and an infinite amount of content and an infinite amount of podcasts. It's already the point where an individual has essentially infinite choices, more choices than they could ever consume in a lifetime times 10,000, right? So the answer is there will always be a place in this world for high quality content that adds value. That's it. There will always be a place in this world for that. So if that is your strategy, Jeff Bezos famously said, invest in things that don't change. And Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, right? One of the world's richest men, tyrant, entrepreneur, visionary, right? Depends on who you ask, they'll describe them different ways. Said invest in things that don't change. Well, people will be looking for content 1 day from now, 1 month from now, 1 year from now, 10 years from now, content that adds value, content that helps solve problems, content that educates them. So there will always be a place for high quality content. Invest in things that don't change. If you do that, you'll always have room to connect with consumers in a meaningful way. Oh, you're muted, Mike.
Don't have this quite down. But anyway, again, thanks. We'll let you go. Appreciate it again. Hope you have a great weekend. You guys you're stuck inside, so you're not doing much, right?
It's Massachusetts, Michael. This is what they've been waiting for to keep us inside for the next few years here. So, yeah.
It's a conspiracy, right?
What are you going to do? We're in Massachusetts. You know what you get when you live here. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in.
All right, Jimmy. Thank you.